everybody. Welcome to All That Matters and Moi, Kamala Mututu.
And I'm Komiki, and welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. But before Dudu and I dive right into it, we just wanted to give you guys a quick disclaimer and to let you know that the content we will be providing is for educational, informative, and entertainment purposes.
Yes, guys, and that the information, opinions, as well as recommendations provided by us should be by no means considered as medical or professional advice.
Yes.
So yes, girl, how are you?
Girl, I'm all good. How are you?
I am awesome.
That's good.
Yeah, and I'm so excited because we have a guest today, Big Dreamz, music producer, artist, guitarist, like musician in all aspects, And I think he just dropped a huge project with Reba, Garden Music, one of my faves. So yes, Big Dreamz.
Yeah, I don't know, such a warm intro, guys. Thank you for just inviting me. I'm honored to be sitting with you guys.
Oh, thank you for coming. We really appreciate it.
Really appreciate it. So yes, obviously we have you here at All That Matters and More, and today we're basically highlighting, the struggles that men face with depression or depression in men, and whether it differs from women, and how you as an artist, right?
Yeah.
How has the journey with depression been, if you've ever been in that particular?
I feel like everyone goes through depression at some point, and especially in the career that we've chosen in entertainment and music, where you can literally hunt for a long time and not, reap the benefits of your labor. And that, coupled with other life things that have got nothing to do with entertainment, yes, everybody goes through depression, if I may put it that way, and I have as well.
Yeah. And I think when Dudu and I were actually discussing this topic, right? And when I was doing the research, so basically depression, like you said, it happens to everybody, right?
Yeah.
But the one thing that was so significant that I was reading is that depression is so different in males and females, I think especially the emotions that we all go through,
Yeah.
And like I was telling Dudu that we are female, Sometimes she may understand my sadness, but because you are a male, you may necessarily not understand my sadness and vice versa. So can you just please explain to me, the emotions, what do you feel?
What kind of sort of what we call escaping behaviors, that probably they don't mention, because I feel like on the DSM-5 it just mainly focuses on women because of sadness, hopelessness, they
loss of appetite,
sleeping patterns. But what affected you as a man to be actually, I think I've reached a point where I could potentially be depressed,
Like I say, I think for me, and I don't know if this is a global way of experiencing it.
Yeah.
But for me, depression impacted me when I went through a lot of personal things. I only understood truly how it was impacting me when I pulled away from everybody. Because sometimes when you're going through your things and you're in the middle of your focus is just trying to stay afloat.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you're in the pit of it, you don't acknowledge it as depression. You're just trying to stay swimming. So for me, the thing that made me understand that, I feel like I've even, this is going to be so weird. I used to be a sharp thinker, for example.
Yeah.
I used to be very quick with comebacks. I used to be very ready for responses, and that it has impacted the way I process mentally. I forget things a lot. I was telling a friend of mine that I met another friend, an ex-colleague, a few days ago at a shoot.
Yeah.
And it's a part of of our friendship that we experienced, I'd completely forgotten. And I went back to the very beginning and I was thanking them for something they had done for me as if we are just meeting.
Wow.
But the part that we had experienced together.
The in-between process thing of your friendship.
Yeah, the in-between.
Yeah.
Was...
Forgotten.
I've gone.
What?
And I remembered later, I'm yo, I think they thought it was weird. So for me, it has impacted me like that, like from a memory point of view. And also, I've allowed myself to be more emotional. Before, I would conceal it. I was the loudest in the room.
Yeah.
I was the life of the party. I'm the one that everybody depended on to throw a punchline. I'm the one that's worried about comforting people because society teaches that men can't be sissy, can't be
vulnerable.
Can't be
Can't
vulnerable.
weak.
It's, you must be
always have to
alpha.
be strong and on.
Yeah, you must
very
be
powerful,
alpha.
Yeah.
You must be the provider. You must be the source of the joke. You must be the comforter. You must be the protector. You must be everything that society teaches young boys and girls about men and what's expected. So I've then looked back and said, but my natural thing when I was a child, when I got hurt, the thing that healed me were the tears. Benkala, manglimeleng, wile, I hurt myself. I'd heal by crying. And so I know I've gone all over the place with that response, but my mind works like that now. And I need to kind of like go around in circles to get to like the core. And that's how my life experiences have even impacted the way that I process. Yeah. Others get angrier. Others commit suicide. As you know, men are the ones that like statistically are in prisons more or killing themselves more. For me, it has impacted me internally in my mind. And my confidence as well. My confidence has been impacted a lot. I gained a lot of weight because I hated the gym. It almost feels like everybody's looking at you and they all...
Like they're judging you. Like, all eyes on you.
And it took me years to understand that this is internal. It's got nothing to do with all these people. I hated just small talk and all of that. Yeah, because you feel misunderstood as a guy. It's like, Ganti, we don't heal the same.
Same. And I like the fact that you now, you touched up on a point about masculinity, or maybe our societal norms would see the masculinity ideal is that man can't cry, man can't be vulnerable, man can't be weak. And I think it has to change from there, because hence a lot of men go through things and they can't express it because bayasab gutyo bazotini. Yabo.
Especially with the crying as well.
Yeah.
Especially with the crying. And sometimes I don't know if you felt it and everything is too much. Guys, and you just want to, it's just pain. Like a very serious one. And with what Dudu said, I kind of want to explore your mind as to, please give us the emotions. Now give us the vulnerable emotions that you were feeling, if you've had like any through your whole process.
So if you don't have an outlet, rage it can be very toxic. So it starts from rage, and like some guys let it out with a punching bag. I'm a producer. Music has always been the outlet, but music kind of like amplifies the emotional side.
Yeah.
So music for me, my set, actually, I was speaking to a friend of mine, Shaz, in the morning today, and we're discussing, she was recommending this book called I'm looking at my phone because I want to find the WhatsApp. She's talking about
no worries.
7 steps of the 7 habits of highly effective people.
Yeah.
Powerful lessons in personal change. The reason she recommended that book to me is because we were both talking about another friend who actually made me realize that I've got high highs and low lows. I don't have...
You don't have a medium.
Yeah, I'm not...
Yeah.
So... What was your question again?
We just want to understand, obviously, like Dudu was saying, how men are supposed to be seen as masculine and always strong.
Feeling.
So it's sort of like your feelings are not validated, the vulnerable feelings,
Yeah.
So generally, like you said, I know anger definitely was one of the main points that I was reading with our research. Anger was, men will be a lot more angry, and then it would be like,
irritability.
And stuff. And it will get a lot worse, that's the thing. So today I'm angry, like we understand you're angry. But then tomorrow I'm throwing punches at people.
Yes.
For no apparent reason. So what is your vulnerable, besides crying, like give us the vulnerable emotions that you were feeling?
I didn't want to speak to people. I wanted to pull away. That to me is a feeling. I know it's maybe someone else will call it something else. I used to like small talk. I just wanted to be in a hole and live by myself. And then I would engage with my emotional side. I could cry freely. I could understand what I was who I was evolving into, because I allowed myself to be myself.
You gave yourself the space to grow and to understand and to become so self-aware.
100%.
And
sometimes when you're surrounded by people and they may mean well, maybe they'll say, no, don't cry or whatever, or don't do this. They mean well. And sometimes they don't know that it can be harmful, because they only are giving you advice based on their knowledge and their experience. Kanti, with me, I had to understand myself so that I could be pleasant to others again. So my thing was crying. My thing was pulling away from people. My thing was also like just learning again what I liked about myself, so that I could stop being in the pits of like other people's expectations of me, because this is who they think I am. And then I'm pressured to have to be that person, because they've decided for me that this is my personality. And so now I'm walking as the version of somebody else and not the version that I want to be. So
And that's so refreshing. It's so refreshing that, what you call it, from a male perspective, that you can think that, because females, we beat ourselves up so much with everything that you just said, you know? And we want to walk away. We constantly are fixated with the way that we look. How are people perceiving you, you know? So it's so refreshing coming from a male perspective, and also us as females as well. Sometimes now you can be careful, you know, when you approach a man with certain things, you know? Regardless of whether they're tough or they're big or whatever the case may be. Because the funny thing is, we don't necessarily know that they could be depressed, and we could be adding to that depression.
100%.
And you know, I like how you started to say, Gucci, you such like, you're a wholesome person. You have a whole lot of, you know, life in you. You're the loud, you bubbly and stuff like that. And in certain instances, us as individuals, as signagilog, he's hitting the punches. But actually, you could be going through something deeper than that. But it's sort of like what I want to go back to. It's like, it's an escaping behavior. You know, and I think women, we don't have that, because we are so used to being vulnerable, like wear your emotions, show it out. Whereas for most men, they don't get that opportunity. You know, they don't get those opportunities. And it's certain behaviors. Good. See, one thing I like that you did with you, and I hope more men can actually do, is to understand, Gucci, you don't now have to be drinking excessively or having, you know, taking partners,
drugs,
you know, and stuff like that, because some people use those methods to escape from the hurt and confronting the pain. What you did is you confronted the things you weren't.
But I also picked up a habit, now that you say that. Like, again, excuse me if I keep like going back and forth.
No problem.
I started smoking weed like when I felt like, now, yes.
It's too much. It's too much.
And because of the environment that I was also in, like, it allowed me and embraced my weed smoking.
And it enabled.
And and so that became my coping mechanism. Like, where I'm like, okay, if I'm like in the clouds, nothing can hurt me. I'm feeling next and I'm chilled, you know. And I'm not saying this is like a global remedy that everybody should now like no. But for me, what it did was it really just slowed down the anxiety. It suppressed the anxiety, because my mind was drifting all over the place. Because also, as a man, you know, you cross a certain age. When you're young, after school, you're very optimistic, you're smart, you're still hella confident, your body still looks fresh, you know, you still have all these dreams, and you haven't experienced life the way like an older person will. And then as you get older, you start realizing that some of your colleagues, some of your peers are way ahead of you, and you can't help but compare, because everybody wants to be in a better place.
That's true.
And then the depression starts kicking in there. Then you start looking internally. Okay, I've done A, B, C, D, E for the longest time. For example, I've been producing for like over 20 years. You know what I'm saying? I've been working in the industry like as committed as just with the exact amount of commitment as a university student would when they're pursuing a degree and a doctorate. I've been learning. I've been in the lab. I've put in my 10,000 hours. And yet financially, I still don't see the rewards. That also contributes to men, because the society also teaches that men should be the providers. I can't even provide for myself, and I'm expected to provide for the person I quote unquote love.
Yeah.
And so, like, all of those things, it's just these different layers of.
And then it
And
adds
these
on to
stigmas
it.
we
It just
attach
And
to
it piles
that.
up.
It helps. And I
And
think
you can't talk as a guy because Yeah, so like if you would let some men talk and just understand that, like, before I am a man, before you are a woman, you are a human being first.
Yes.
So pain is pain.
Yeah.
and we all feel pain the same way, guys.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I love what you said also, to listen attentively.
Listen.
Listen attentively.
Yeah.
And to just, there's just some things that, like, you know what I'm saying? There's something, like you're saying, you may not necessarily have noticed, you know, the type of person that you are before or after, but listening attentively, like, wait, he's never said that before.
Yeah.
What could that mean?
Yes.
Should I check up on him? Or should I maybe reflect quickly to ask myself, how do I then also approach you as well? You know?
Yeah.
So I'm also not hurting you in the process.
Yes.
I'm also comforting you. I'm making sure that you're okay. And then if I feel like I'm too much, then I pull back a bit, you know?
Yeah.
So you can gather yourself again.
But the ones that matter in your life will also know
When to step in.
how to approach it best.
Okay.
Because that's why it's then important to have a good quality circle around you, because it's easy to meet people in the world and they just do not really understand you to your core. Like, ukuthi ubani kahle kahle. When the job is away, when the car is away, when the love is away, who are you as a person? Because those people are the ones that also, like I've got a friend of mine, one of my best friends, and only now am I remembering certain things about myself that I forgot.
Yeah.
So it's good to have people who also not only feed you criticism, not only show you, nah, man, or no, it's okay, Neil, you've got, or whatever. It's also important to have those friends that also say, dog, you're really good at this.
Yeah.
You're really, because that's the thing that, it's easy for society to say, "Ay, when your show is funny," because people, I don't know why, it's like it default setting your corner. But if you have real friends that also know you, they'll know how to give you the message in a way that it lands in a healthy way.
It lands the way it's supposed to land
Constructively.
without any harm. You get what I'm saying? So that you also take it in. And I think also going back to that, it's just that society must just stop, guys. Indoda must provide. Indoda must. Indoda. We need to honestly
I'm not
stop,
gonna lie, I'm with you there. We need to stop that.
Like, really, so then what are we saying? If a man cannot provide, then he's not good
enough.
Of a man.
Yeah.
And that's what leads
That's
a lot
exactly
of
what
men
you're
down
saying.
there. And hence, Uguti, they can't even speak up because Uguti, like we've mentioned that. So I think we need to cut down on these stigmas and be fair to men.
Yeah.
Like, be fair to men to live their own life without now having to be attached. Uguti, we only see you if you are financially at a particular point. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because not everything can be on surface level and not everything can always be about money.
Yeah.
So I think it's us also changing that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
to stop stigmas and being so damn biased, man. Now that you're saying everything, I'm just like, we need to be very careful of how we also approach our men. Like,
Because we're not the same.
you know
not
what I'm
the
saying?
same.
We
Some
need to
guys
be very
like
careful.
that. You
yeah.
feel it makes them feel. Some guys have nothing more to offer than money.
Then money.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That's their part, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But like that's why you have a lot of shallow people gay. Don't complain if those are the men you are breeding by teaching them from the time they are young.
Yeah.
That finance is the only thing that matters. Of course, finance is important. We have to eat. Things cost money. You know, you're not gonna go to the bank with a good heart and get a bond.
Yeah.
We understand those things.
Yeah.
But the things that are of substance are the things that are in the mind and the heart.
Yo, 100.
Yeah.
100. And also, I don't know, like, I liked when you mentioned Uguti, it's important of the individuals that surround you.
Yeah.
And I know, recently we had Undade Patrick Shah, I believe he committed suicide.
Yes, he
and
did.
it was all like
Yeah.
into depression. And I think for me, like, my views on that is that I'm not judging the people around him, right?
Yeah.
But he made a video and I believe it was meant to be a joke. And the joke didn't land. A part of me feels like that was offensive. And then for the people, if you know Gucci, if I know that Komiki is not good,
Yeah.
right? As a friend, an attentive friend, I should know when my friend is good and not good.
I think with that, you know what, I loved what you said, just to, put in my opinion on that. I think that is so important. But once again, I think to a certain extent, we need to take it upon ourselves to really sit down and reflect.
Yeah.
We're not reflecting enough. I think you were just so lucky that your mind was sharp. That means that we had picked it up somewhere, you know, without even realizing, and threw it in your subconscious, you know. So when it was time for you to actually now deal with everything, you're like, let me do something that I'm already used to. Okay, let me go back to trying and figuring out to make sure that my mind is sharp again. I'm on my toes, you know, I'm ready. So with that one, girl, like people need to start taking it within themselves, and we need to be very careful as to what we do, what we say, how we educate ourselves, you know, how we're gaining information, how we're retaining it, and then how we're putting it back out there, you know. So I think with that one, it's sitting down, and unfortunately for Ntate, it's too late now, you know.
Yeah.
Unlike us, it's too late. Those people are in your circle. It's unfortunate that it's too late, but sometimes we also need to know when it's time to let go. Especially when it comes to your mental health. I'm so sorry. I'm even getting like a little bit emotional. Like,
no, but I'm trying to let go with regards to what are they letting go of?
They're letting go of the toxic people in their life.
But then if you're in a state of depression, you won't be self-aware to know the people who are toxic in your life.
It's something that you need to learn. You need to just learn to do reflection and to do deep introspection and to sit down and be like, and I know with depression, it's very difficult, you know? Your mind, you're not in the right state of mind.
Yeah.
And how can you be? You're going through a lot of things, and how can you realize it? And in South Africa, we necessarily don't have the resources. We are not knowledgeable. We're not smart. We can't quickly get the resources that we need. Sometimes it's just you have to dig deep within yourself and fight, you know? I know that it's difficult to cut those people out. And yes, at that given moment in time in your state of mind, it's very difficult for you to do the introspection and to reflect and to write things down and to be like, I need this in my life. I don't need that. That would just be my opinion of it. Obviously, I don't know, you can jump in there.
Yeah, what she said.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm just like of a different view. And hence that thing, why I brought it up is because I'm saying, Gucci, would he necessarily have committed suicide had that video not been published?
So let me understand.
Could that? Okay, yeah.
There was a video published that he was in.
Yeah.
And your question is, the person that was filming, could they have interjected? Am I understanding you correctly? So my opinion on that is sometimes the people that are helping you are also not equipped. And, you know, umuntu uzokunceda thinking that they are taking you to a place where you need to go because they're giving you what you are asking for.
Yeah.
And then maybe like, okay, it's maybe but you are coming from a place where now this is the way you are comforting by just doing what you've been asked. My assumption is that he asked.
Okay.
So if you find a person or a professional or was you analyze, maybe they would have done a different thing. There would have been no shooting. Then they would have taken the right steps. But it's very difficult to say whether they were in the wrong or the right because you don't know where the heart was when the conversation was had before the camera started rolling. If that makes sense. I don't know if I'm making sense.
You're 100% making sense, ne? I like the heart could have been at the right place, but then now are we saying, Gucci? I think for me it's to say, Gucci, as an individual, we need to surround ourselves with individuals that are strong-willed.
Like better people.
Better people.
Okay, yeah.
And I think also, Gucci, someone who can, in the same time, akhuze. Basically, there's no friendship if akhuzani.
Yeah.
If you're doing something wrong, and because at that time I understand, Gucci, my friend is not going through something, but now I can't advise you and I can't guide you to say, Ndoda, what you're doing is wrong. I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
Let's stop.
And I guess maybe to now, like I was saying, to equip each other. Then, like you said, siyakuzana.
Yeah.
Komiki, do a little bit of introspection. Komiki, I see ish.
Yeah.
Mongari, you're liking a little bit. You don't think before you talk sometimes, or you don't think before you do a certain type of things that can hinder you like this. Take a step back, sit down with yourself, gather your thoughts, and then understand and dig deep within yourself, you know?
Yeah.
So for me, one thing I'd like to know, Uguti, what measures did you take?
Thanks, miss.
You know, what measures did you take to bring yourself out of, you know, feelings of sadness?
I talk to my friends. I let it be their problem, eh? I as well tell you. I talk.
Yeah.
Because I was there for everyone before.
Yeah.
I listened to everybody before. And now I was the one who needed to be listened to. And it was weird for a lot of my friends. But Maz tried. And he was with me the longest. He's one of my best friends. I can say that. He's one of my best friends. 23 years now. So those are people that know you before the world has carved opinions
before you
about
get
you.
influenced.
My other best friend, Gwezwe, those are people who've been my soundboard, amongst others. And so I laid it out. And I had to learn what information to apply and what information to discard. Because even your close friends can say things with good intentions, but may not know to the jaws of a lion. So you have to then compare kubo bonke, and then you take the best thing that works for you.
Like my mom says, you sift the information.
Through the information.
And then you take what you listen to everything, and then you take what you feel will be beneficial to you or helpful.
100%.
Yeah.
And so for me, that's what I did. I spoke, and then the most important thing is I pulled away from everybody that I felt like I knew too many people, and I called too many people friends. And those are not the people I would call if I got a flat tire in the middle of the night.
I hear you.
I had to think back, who are those people that I would do that with? And then once I found my core, I then released myself from the pressure of having to maintain relationships that are one-directional, that only pull from me. Because I had a lot of relationships that pulled a lot from me. And then I started feeling lighter and lighter and lighter. And then I pulled away from everything. Then, even now, I'm still healing. I don't think you'll ever really fully recover.
No.
But I'm a million steps away from where I was.
You're at a better place than you were before.
Much healthier. I'm lighter. If you spoke to me a year ago or 2 years ago, I was heavier, dealing with just a lot of life things, breakups and all of that. And now I'm like starting to come into myself. I'm attracting a lot of people who are like me.
Positive energy.
Yeah, people who are building. I'm also, you'll always attract those opportunists in life in general.
Back London.
But now I'm attracting the kind of people I want to build my life with.
Wow.
So before we close it up, so if right now umuntu obhekile and a distressed individual, what words of courage can you offer to them to say, Ndoda, baby girl?
Oh, it's difficult, eh? But what I would say that worked for me, I needed to be reminded of the best version of me by those around me. If you've got people who are constantly criticizing you and saying, yes, no, I went available better. Get away from those people. Find the people that also say, Mara, you remember when you did this? Dog, you are different. You're nice. You're special. I know we all need money. Money will depress us, but there's also more things in life that are important, like mental health. So, thola labantu laba who are going to stabilize your thoughts. And like, just tilt you a little when you feel like, okay, now I'm jumping off the cliff. Your energy and the people around you must match.
Positive vibes. Waya.
Yeah.
No, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Big
Thank you.
Dreamz.
For joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
I hope you enjoyed it.
I did. It's very heavy. Yeah. But one thing that's light, though, is that Garden Music is out. And Garden Music is out on all the digital stores, Apple Music, Spotify. I did it with one of my very good friends, Riba. And we've got 4 tracks. It's only a 14-minute listen, guys.
Yes, guys.
So if you want to just get some lightness and energy, it's called Garden Music for a reason. It's meant to just nourish your soul. It must give you greener pastures when you are listening. It must just give you life, because gardens represent life. So Garden Music is out, and we've got 4 songs for you.
Check it out, guys. Did you want to actually listen? It's so beautiful.
It's amazing.
And
This is the cover. Look at the cover. Look at the cover. This is the cover. This is the cover.
Oh, no, guys. It's amazing. The music, the lyrics, everything
Just
about
everything
it.
behind it. It's so beautiful and
Please talk
magical.
to Reba, guys. Like, she's special.
We will.
Riva.
We're fetching Riva. She doesn't know. Big Dreamz, thank you so much. And also
Thank
for
you.
just being so vulnerable, man.
Thank you.
As a man and not being afraid to be vulnerable. That is so
No,
powerful.
Pastor, thank
You have
you.
no idea how powerful that is.
Thank you.
And I hope a lot of
I'm
men.
looking away. Thank you.
No.
Don't!
And I hope a lot of men like learn from this. You get what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
it's okay to break down. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And it's okay not to be okay. To
Yeah,
actually just take
definitely.
time away from people. Take time to be by yourself and then remind yourself of who matters. You know, and more than anything, you matter.
Hey.
So, yeah.
Hey.
Oh, so thank you guys for tuning in. This is All That Matters and More. And you can, check us out on Instagram.
And YouTube, guys. All That Matters and More. If you also have any comments, anything you'd like to share with us, please definitely don't hesitate to DM us on our personal accounts on All That Matters and More. And
you can definitely email us on imatterandmore@gmail.com. So yes, guys, thank you for tuning in and thank you for having us. Oh no, thank you for being here.
Thank you guys. Good luck with your healing.